Hey guys, EzraTime here and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be discussing the Five Nights at Freddy's teaser trailer. And again, I have to acknowledge first that I didn't do a reaction video for a teaser because I'm afraid that Universal is going to copyright claim the video, because it's Universal, right? But I did watch the teaser, it's only like 40-second teaser, like 50 seconds. And yeah, he has I guess he has some part that we can break down and see how events is gonna go for the for the FNAF movie, which I'm pretty excited to. And yeah, I do think this is an awesome teaser. Let's just start with that. I think um I'm glad that actually they just decided to release some a bit of a footage. Obviously, I mean it's a teaser clearly, so it's only like a bit of a footage. But I did like it, because I feel like it didn't show too much, obviously, and as a teaser, I think it's amazing. And I love the way the teaser start with like a commercial from the 80s, basically, right? I mean, the movie takes place in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken, about Freddy Fazbear Pizza, and then I'll have the lady basically quoting Phone Guy, I think, right? That like when fantasy and fun come to life, like that classic line from Phone Guy. Ah, it's amazing. Um, but yeah, after that we get to see a glimpse of the animatronics, obviously, in the commercial and then in the official location. Um, and then we see Josh Hutcherson as Mike Smith, the main character. Um, and yeah, I do think Josh Hutcherson is a I don't know. I watched several of his movies before, like the Hunger Games and then Zathura, and then Journey 1 and Journey 2, right? Like I think he's a good actor. He's a fun actor, and I think by the looks of it from the teaser, like I feel like he's got it, but maybe it's too soon for me to saying that. But I'm just saying that I'm more like optimistic, for Josh Hutcherson's portrayal for Mike Smith, because again we never see the official Mike Smith portrayal from the game because he's just literally a character that we play and never spoke, So I'm really curious to see how they're going to characterize Mike Smith in this movie. At least this version, I know people have like theories that it's gonna be Michael Afton, but I don't think they're gonna go to that route, Like I thought they were at first, but now from the teaser and like some of the plot leaks, I think it's just like maybe not. Maybe it's not. They're not gonna go to that direction, which is fine. And of course we get to see the glimpse of the animatronic, like Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy and stuff like that. I really like their design. I really do. I think sure some people might say that it's a bit comical or something like that, but I feel like I'm glad they're actually going a bit more practical in this movie, because again it's Blumhouse, so like the budget wasn't that high, and I'm really glad they don't exactly include like a full-on CGI animatronics, because obviously that's not gonna be as good looking, obviously. And I don't think the design makes sense, it really like resembled the FNAF teaser, I think, right? And it's been such a while since we saw that teaser from the first Five Nights at Freddy's game, and I think their model really really complement that, in my opinion, at least. And yeah, it was designed by Jim Henson Creature Shop, and I do think I heard that those are like a really good company for like making them. So I think they look good. I'm sorry, I think they looks good, in the teaser at least. And yeah, so obviously after that we get to see the camera, which is nice. And like I like the fact that there is a camera angle from the game, like Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica, like like standing on the stage, and then the camera like sit beside them, and it's just like, yeah, it's exactly from the game, and I absolutely love it. Again, it's such a tiny thing, but I just love it, as a FNAF fan. And obviously some of the camera shot as well, in the security office was like, I think some of them are like identical to the game, and maybe some of them are different, like I think there is some camera angle from the outside of the pizzeria, I think, which I think makes sense, because obviously it's from the movie perspective that obviously they're gonna expand certain location, and they're gonna include some of the camera from the game itself, and I think that's neat. One of the example is obviously the Freddy Bonnie and Chica camera angle. I think that was from the game, and I love it. And yeah, I think besides that, we get to see Mike Smith getting trapped in a chair, I think, or like someone put him in that chair, maybe. And then we see like an animatronic like opening his mouth, I think, and there is like a saw coming out or something like that, and it's just like, oh wow, okay, like what the hell was that? That was new, and it kind of remind me a little bit for the FNAF Plus game that we were supposed to get maybe sometime later, which is a remake from from a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, which is called the Fazbear Universe or something like that, right? And yeah, it kind of bring me back that elements, you know, like even though the game hasn't been released yet, but it's just like it's remaking the first game, but also like expanding certain elements to it, you know. And I think from that teaser, that's what I got, you know. I feel like the teaser really just like give us that, oh, this is FNAF 1, obviously the location, the animatronic, cool. But there are also some expansion, you know, like a little bit from the camera angle, right? And obviously, you got the animatronic with the jaw, with some sort of like a saw or something in the mouth, which I'm not exactly sure who this was. Um, Even though the red eyes, you know, the red dot eyes that we saw in the teaser, looks a lot like, you know, like Whitner Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's 2, you know. So maybe it is Bonnie that got damaged or something like that, you know, over the course of the movie, maybe. Or maybe it's like another animatronic or something like that. And then we see some character just a tiny bit like Abby, you know, which is Mike's sister. With people speculating him to be, sorry, her to be like Elizabeth Afton. I also speculate her to be Elizabeth Afton, but that's remain to be seen. Apparently, that's not true. But again, you never know. And then also we get to see a character, Vanessa, right? I think she's gonna be a police officer in this one, which I think is kind of similar to the FNAF Security Breach counterpart, you know, which I think from that game, Vanessa wasn't exactly a big character, you know, and it sucks because I really wanted her to be like a big character in that game, you know. So I'm really glad they decided to include her in this movie, even though again it's a different Vanessa, you know. And it's played by Elizabeth Lale, I think. And yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to see her performance here. I mean, from that one shot, it's like I think she's gonna be the one who gives some exposition to Mike, you know, because she is a police officer. So maybe Mike call like you know, call out 911, you know, like in the middle of the night, you know, saying that there is something trying to kill us, and then maybe nobody believed Mike, but this one officer, Vanessa, decided to believe her. Believe him, because she is familiar with this case before, something like that. I think that would be interesting to see what they're gonna do with Vanessa in it. This version of Vanessa in the movie. And we get to see a little bit of like Mike basically standing in the middle of the forest, and then we see 5 kids, which obviously a really huge reference from the game. You know, there is like 5 missing kids. You know, and I really like the way it was shot. You know, it's kind of creepy in a way, but also not really, right? Because it's broad daylight and stuff like that. And yeah, there is 5 kids. You know, like Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. Like obviously that's where their soul like resonate in the animatronic. And then the fifth one, I think it's gonna be Golden Freddy, which I think I think or like I'm hoping that Golden Freddy is going to appear in this movie at least, you know, because there is a fifth kid. So I think this fifth kid is going to be the biggest mystery in the movie, maybe, because I feel like the first four, it's kind of obvious that it's gonna be, you know, like their spirit's gonna be reset on Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, and then we're probably gonna learn their true names, you know. And I think the true name is gonna be closer to the game counterparts, you know. I think one of them name is Jeremy, I think, right? So maybe one of these kids is gonna be Jeremy, you know. And then there's gonna be one kid that's gonna be like mysterious, the fifth kid, you know, which is gonna be Golden Freddy. And I'm really curious to see if Golden Freddy is going to appear in this movie, you know. I know some people making theories that they're gonna go back through time or something like that, like or like a flashback, you know, with Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. Maybe that would be interesting to introduce that, because I think if this movie was successful, they're gonna make that into a trilogy. So I think that will be a perfect setup, you know. But again, we don't know. I think I'm really hoping Golden Freddy appear, you know, because I'm really curious to see how they're gonna handle him in the movie, and I'm really hoping it's gonna be handled in a creepy way, because all the animatronics, they move, you know, but Golden Freddy he just like sits still, and then it's an empty suit, you know. But you know that there is something weird with this animatronic, you know, and I think that would be really creepy to see. And yeah, we get to see a little bit of Matthew Lillard as William Afton, you know, which is a businessman in this counterpart. I mean, he was always a businessman in the game, anyways. And yeah, I really looking forward to see Matthew Lillard performance as you know, as William Afton, you know, how, you know, what is his role in this movie, you know, how are they gonna handle them? Is William Afton and Mike Smith is gonna be related, like the game, maybe? Like, who knows, right? I think it's gonna be exciting. Again, it's Matthew Lillard. I'm really looking forward to see his performance, you know, because I think his other performance that is memorable is obviously Stu Macher from Scream, right? And after that, like, he plays Shaggy for most of his career, you know. So I'm really glad that he got this role as William Afton, to see that how creepy this guy could have been, because William Afton in the game, at least according to Matt Patera, he started as a businessman, you know, like he's fine, he's normal, and is eventually becoming really creepy, you know. And I'm really curious to see Matthew Lillard is going to delve into the creepiness of the character. I really hope he does, you know. And obviously we see I think we see some other random security guard, you know. This might be the opening scene of the movie, or maybe sometime later, I guess, as a flashback, as Vanessa explaining maybe. There's gonna be a kill in this movie, obviously. And then we see a foot that I think this foot right here might be Foxy, right? Because Foxy got this like endoskeleton foot, The others just don't. They have like the animal foot. I would say that, but Foxy doesn't. Foxy has like an actual endoskeleton foot, So I think it might be his foot, and I'm really looking forward to see if Foxy is going to run through the hallway. Like that would be amazing to see Foxy run through the hallway like in the game, and how they're going to handle that. I hope that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be. Either it's gonna be really cool, it's gonna be really goofy, because I think that's one moment from the game that really surprises people, besides Golden Freddy's, that Foxy just like immediately run through the hallway, and then you're like, oh shit, and then like you eventually didn't manage to close the door, or maybe you did, who knows, right? And yeah, so the next thing we get to see Abby basically going or like hiding into the ball pit, and hiding from the animatronics, and I think this to me is like a callback to the, or at least like a reference to the one of the books. I think I forgot which one it is, but basically, it's called Fazbear Frights book. Remember that? It's called Into the Pit. So basically it has a story where a kid, again I don't remember the kid's name, but basically a kid that goes into a ball pit, like I don't know, to do something, I guess. But once he emerged, he emerged to like another timeline, basically in the past, and I think the ball pit kind of worked as a time travel machine or something like that, which is, I don't think they explain it in the book, but it's like it's FNAF, so who cares, right? That's the MacGuffin, I'm really curious to see if that's gonna happen, where Abby hides, and then eventually she emerged on like a different time, like maybe way back in the 80s, to see the pizzeria in the glory days or something like that, because we see from the set photos that the pizzeria go through some changes, like one of them are like completely fine, good looking pizzeria, and then eventually it was like a bit run down, right? Which is what we see where Mike turned on the lights, you see the sign is a bit run down, and we also see Abby with Freddy Fazbear, holding hands. So I think maybe either Abby's going to like find something with the animatronics, make them more like, understanding that Mike is not the threat or something like that, or maybe the animatronic like notice that Abby is just a kid, and they're just a kid as well, so they like befriend her or something like that, right? Like, or maybe they're just tricking Abby to like do something like, horrible or something like that. I don't know. It's definitely interesting to see that photo where she and Freddy basically hold hands, like that's saying something, either she's gonna help the animatronic to move past his their afterlife, maybe. Like I think that's what's gonna happen, but who knows, right? But yeah, I love to see the a reference to the book. I think it's quite fun. So after that we see this is probably the weakest part of the trailer to me. Like we see the animatronic basically having red eyes, like Freddy, Bonnie having a red eyes, and I just not a biggest fan of it. Like it makes them look comical. And to be fair, the red eyes thing is like generic, like it's an evil robot thing, So obviously the eyes is gonna be red, for scary. But in this one, it's not scary, And I feel like it's like something that you would find in the recent FNAF game, because the recent FNAF game is more catering towards kids, And I understand because the Final Freddy's fandom are mostly kids, But I miss back in the day when FNAF is like used to be scary, or like used to be at least creepy, in terms of the atmosphere. Especially the first game is always going to be the best one, because again, there's a creepy atmosphere in the game, even though there's going to be jump scare, how the game play out. But I still appreciate the atmosphere and the creepiness of the first game, and I feel like I really wanted that in the first movie. And making the animatronic eyes look, red is not the way to go, in my opinion. I was like, oh man, like again, this is such a cliche thing to do now. And I'm really hoping that they changes that, because I feel like the effects on the red eyes also not looking that great. I get that the budget wasn't that high, but it's just like I'm really hoping that there is like several months now. I'm really hoping they're still able to like remove the red eyes effect, because I just do not like that. And I think a lot of people also didn't like that. Some people said that it makes them look goofy, which is, yeah, I mean, again, it's generic, so obviously it's gonna make them look a bit goofy, and yeah, and obviously the title for the trailer, I love it so much, where they basically play the Freddy's jingle, I think, right, from the first game, which is nice, I'm glad they actually use some of the musical cue from the first game. There's a bit of musical cue from the first game, I'm glad that Freddy jingle play in the title, basically on the teaser. And yeah, it's gonna be released on October 27, But after that, I want to talk about the poster for the movie. And I have 50-50, about the poster, because I think on one hand it looks cool, but at the same time it looks kind of fan made, because I feel like there is so many FNAF fan made movie at this point, and I feel like if someone told me that this is fan made, I would believe them. I didn't even know this was a official poster, and it was like, yeah, okay, wow, this is okay. I mean, it looks cool, but it also kind of have like a little bit of like security breach in a way. But which I meant is like there is a neon light in the poster, which is kind of make me think about security breach, so that's why. And it's also a callback to FNAF 2 poster, I guess, from the game, I think, or like from the main menu of the game. You guys remember that, like Toy Chica, Toy Bonnie, and then sorry, Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica, like standing in line. That you see half of their face, and they're staring at you. Like I think that was creepy enough for me, for FNAF 2. In this one, I think it looks cool, but I kind of wish it's a bit more creepy, than just, again, the red eyes, man. Like, the red eyes is just so unnecessary, because I feel like it makes them, again, less scary for me. I know that I'm just complaining here, but again, I gotta be honest, I'm not a biggest fan for like them putting the red eyes in the animatronic, because I feel like it doesn't work, and the movie to be more creepy like the first game. I don't want this movie to like just completely pandering towards the kids, because I just don't like it. I don't like how the recent FNAF game is a bit more adventurous, which is gonna be fun, but it's just like, again, I miss the creepy factor from the previous FNAF game, that basically throughout the installment it's just gone, like you never actually experience that ever again. Again, I know that it's only like jump scare and stuff like that, but again, there is some creepy atmosphere in the first movie, in the first game, and I'm really hoping that this first movie has that same creepy atmosphere from the first game, from the pizzeria, the animatronic. Hopefully they remove the red eyes at some point and just keep it like that, just like a white eyes, like a normal eyes. I think that works, in my opinion. And yeah, I just at the end of the day, I'm really excited to see this movie. I really do. I think I've been waiting for this movie for a long time. Really, it's a really long time. For 2015 basically. Like it's been nearly 8 years at this point. So it's like, oh, so it's really nice, to see that it finally came together. And it's finally official. Even though it looks low budget, which obviously is Blumhouse. I'm really hoping that the future sequel, if this one was successful, I'm really hoping they decide to make this into a trilogy, because I think Matthew Lillard does say in an interview that he does sign for Universal for a 3-picture deal. So I think if this one was successful, we're gonna get a FNAF trilogy like Scott Cawthon promised. FNAF 1 is based on FNAF 1, FNAF 2 is based on FNAF 2 games, and then FNAF 3 movie is gonna be based on FNAF 3 games. And I think that will be a perfect trilogy in my opinion. And if they want to go beyond that, go ahead. Because I feel like after FNAF 3, the lore, that's where the lore gets a bit more crazier. So I think it's the best for them for the movie format. They just adapt the story from the first 3 games, because I think it has a perfect beginning and a perfect end in my opinion, or at least the perfect end, for everything. So I'm really hoping that they decide to go for that route instead. um and yeah, I think for FNAF 2, I think if they decide to do like a similar poster, I really hope they move I guess the neon light and then the red eyes, and then like just imagine like Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica, this time being built by Jim Henson Creature Shop for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie, and then we get the exact same poster like in the game, like Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica just like line up, and then you see the half of their face, like I don't know, it's like opening their mouth, like smiling at you or something like that. I think that would be really creepy, and but either way, I'm just really excited for the FNAF movie. I think I've been waiting this for such a long time, like everybody did. I'm really hoping that this movie turns out good. Like and yeah, I think Blumhouse and I think Scott Cawthon is also a part of the project, right? He's a writer. I'm really hoping that Emma Tammy, the new director, was good enough to direct the movie, because again, we don't exactly know what Emma Tammy did. I think this is like the second movie that she directed. So I'm really hoping that it's good. But yeah, have faith. And yeah, I'm curious to see who's gonna compose the score for the movie, because I don't think they revealed that yet. We're just gonna be curious. Because I think they could have some creepy musical score in the movie as well. Like based on the first game, and then maybe they could create their own. I think that would be amazing to see that. But yeah, guys, I guess that's my Five Nights at Freddy's teaser breakdown, or like what I expect for the movie, yeah, let me know in the comment section below, guys. What do you guys think about this teaser right here? Do you guys love it? What do you guys think about the red eyes from the animatronic? Because again, I don't like them. I hope they remove them. But what about you guys? Do you guys actually like it? Or do you guys actually agree with me that it's unnecessary, it's cliche? Um, And what do you guys think about the poster? Like, do you guys actually like the poster, or do you guys wanted the poster to be a bit more creepy? And yeah, what do you guys think about the cast? Are you guys looking forward to see Josh Hutcherson and Matthew Lillard? I'm looking forward to them. I think it's gonna be fun to see. And yeah, again, let me know all of that in the comment section below, guys. I love to hear about them. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, then leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, usual stuff, guys. And again, stay tuned for more videos in the future. And I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. And I will see you guys in the next one then. Bye!